My child, slow down for a moment. Do not rush past this. Let your breathing soften. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart become still. The words you are hearing right now are not noise, not random, not accidental. They are arriving because something inside you has been asking for help, even if you did not know how to put it into words. I am not here to frighten you. I am not here to control you. I am here to protect you, to steady you, to guide you gently back into peace. There is something approaching, yes, but it is not what you think. It is not a person attacking you from the outside. It is not bad luck. It is not punishment. What is approaching is an inner moment, a turning point, a crossroads where your thoughts and emotions will decide whether you feel trapped or free. In the coming day, you may feel heavier than usual. Not because something terrible happens, but because something hidden tries to rise. Old memories. Old blame. Old responsibility you quietly placed on yourself. It may arrive quietly, through a thought that says, if only I had done more, or, this is somehow my fault, or, I should have known better. These thoughts do not shout. They whisper. And because they whisper, they can be dangerous if you believe them without questioning. Listen carefully, my child. Not every weight you feel belongs to you. Somewhere along your journey, you learn to carry things that were never assigned to your soul. You learn to take responsibility for other people's choices. You learn to feel guilty for outcomes you could not control. You learn to apologize for simply existing, for needing rest, for needing love, for needing time. This did not happen all at once. It happened slowly, quietly, over years. And because it happened slowly, you began to think it was normal. But it is not. There is a difference between wisdom and self-punishment. There is a difference between accountability and shame. There is a difference between learning and carrying lifelong guilt. And right now, the line between those things has become blurred inside you. That is why this moment matters. The coming hours are not meant to break you. They are meant to reveal something so you can finally release it. But release only happens when you are aware. And awareness is why you are here, listening, breathing, staying. I see how you replay conversations in your mind. I see how you revisit decisions long after they are over. I see how you imagine different outcomes and punish yourself for not achieving them. You think this makes you responsible, thoughtful, caring. But in truth, it is slowly draining your joy. Guilt, when it stays too long, becomes a quiet poison. Not because you are bad, but because guilt convinces you that you must suffer in order to be good. And that belief is not truth. You were never meant to live under constant inner judgment. Let me ask you something gently. If someone you love came to you carrying the same burdens you carry, would you speak to them the way you speak to yourself? Would you tell them they deserve to feel heavy forever? Would you tell them they must pay endlessly for mistakes, even ones they could not prevent? Of course not. Then why do you believe these rules apply to you? You have confused responsibility with punishment. You have confused reflection with self-attack. You have confused growth with pain. And tomorrow, if you do nothing, these patterns will try to tighten their grip again. Not dramatically. Not loudly. Quietly. Through thoughts that feel familiar. Through emotions that feel normal. Through heaviness you've learned to tolerate. But you do not have to tolerate it anymore. Right now, I am asking you to interrupt the pattern. Not with force. Not with fear. With awareness and choice. Close your eyes for a moment and notice where you feel tension in your body. Your chest. Your stomach. Your jaw. Your shoulders. These are not random. Your body remembers what your mind tries to ignore. Each tight place holds a story, a responsibility you picked up somewhere along the way. You may not even remember when you picked it up. But you can choose to put it down. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to justify your release. You do not need permission from the past. You only need willingness. Some guilt comes from real mistakes, yes. But even then, guilt is meant to teach, not imprison. Once learning happens, guilt's job is done. When guilt stays, it turns into shame. And shame does not heal. Shame only hides. Other guilt you carry was never yours at all. It came from being the responsible one. The strong one. The understanding one. The one who held things together. The one who stayed quiet to keep peace. Over time, that role taught you that if something went wrong, it must somehow be because you didn't do enough. That belief ends today. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to release outcomes you could not control. You are allowed to stop carrying emotional debts that were never signed in your name. Take a slow breath. Let it be deep. Let it reach places you usually keep guarded. And as you exhale, imagine loosening your grip, even slightly. You do not need to drop everything at once. Even a small release creates space. I am not asking you to forget your past. I am asking you to stop living inside it. Something new is trying to grow in you. New peace. New clarity. New softness. But it cannot grow in a heart crowded with old blame. Space must be made. And here is the truth you need to hear clearly: you do not heal by punishing yourself. You heal by allowing compassion to reach places you once closed off. In the next day, when thoughts return, and they may, you will recognize them. You will say, "This is old guilt. This is not my truth." You will pause. You will breathe. You will choose not to spiral. That choice is protection. You are not weak for needing this reminder. You are strong for receiving it. Strength is not carrying everything alone. Strength is knowing when to let go. Stay with me. We are not finished yet. What comes next is deeper release, not just understanding, but freedom that settles into your daily life. This is only the beginning of a lighter way of living. My child, stay with me. Let your attention remain gentle and steady. What we are doing now is not rushing healing, but allowing it to unfold naturally, layer by layer. Freedom does not arrive with noise. It arrives quietly, the way morning light enters a room without force. You may notice something as you sit with these words. A soft resistance. A voice inside that says, "But if I let this go, who will I be?" That voice is not your enemy. It is simply unfamiliar with peace. It has lived so long in tension that calm feels strange. Do not fight that feeling. Just notice it. Awareness itself begins the change. For a long time, you believed that holding guilt kept you responsible, kept you humble, kept you safe from repeating mistakes. But guilt does not protect you. It only keeps you looking backward. Wisdom looks forward. Growth looks forward. Healing looks forward. There is a difference between remembering and reliving. You were meant to remember so you could learn, not relive so you could suffer. Yet your heart has been stuck replaying moments, searching for different endings, imagining how things could have gone if you had said one more thing, waited one more moment, acted sooner, acted differently. These loops have stolen your energy, not because you are broken, but because you care deeply. Caring deeply is not a flaw. But carrying everything is not love. It is exhaustion. I want you to understand something important. You are not responsible for other people's healing journeys. You are not responsible for how others interpret your actions. You are not responsible for outcomes that depended on choices outside your control. You can be kind without being crushed. You can be loving without being self-destructive. Right now, your soul is tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, but the kind that comes from long-term emotional weight. That is why even small things sometimes feel heavy. That is why joy sometimes feels distant. That is why rest sometimes brings guilt instead of relief. But rest was always meant to restore you, not accuse you. There is no rule that says you must suffer to deserve peace. There is no rule that says happiness must be delayed until you have punished yourself enough. Those rules were learned, not given. And what is learned can be unlearned. Imagine for a moment placing all the guilt you carry in front of you. Not pushing it away. Not judging it. Just placing it there. Look at it with honesty. Some of it belongs to growth. Some of it belongs to grief. Some of it belongs to responsibility. And some of it does not belong to you at all. You do not have to sort it perfectly. You do not have to analyze every piece. You only have to decide one thing: you will not let it define you anymore. Identity built on guilt is fragile. Identity built on truth is steady. Your truth is this: you did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. That does not mean every choice was perfect. It means every choice was human. Growth does not demand perfection. It requires honesty and compassion. Tomorrow, when emotions try to rise again, they may test you. Not to hurt you, but to see if you will return to old habits. This is where your strength will show, not in suppressing feelings, but in responding differently. Instead of arguing with guilt, acknowledge it. Say, I see you, but you do not control me. Instead of drowning in regret, ground yourself in the present. Touch something real. Breathe slowly. Name what is true right now. You are safe. You are learning. You are allowed to move forward. Let me say this clearly, because you need to hear it without confusion: releasing guilt does not erase responsibility. It transforms it into wisdom. Wisdom walks forward carrying lessons, not chains. You are not abandoning your values by choosing peace. You are honoring them. There is a gentleness returning to you, even now. You may feel it as a subtle lightness, or simply as less tightness in your chest. Do not demand dramatic change. Healing often arrives quietly, then stays. From this point on, speak to yourself as you would to someone you love. When you notice self-blame, pause. When you notice harsh inner words, soften them. When you notice old stories repeating, remind yourself that this chapter is different. You are not starting over as someone broken. You are continuing as someone wiser. There will be moments when the old weight tries to return. That does not mean you failed. It means you are human. Each time you choose compassion instead of punishment, you strengthen a new path. And paths become habits. Habits become freedom. You are allowed to enjoy life without explaining yourself. You are allowed to feel peace without guilt following behind it. You are allowed to smile without questioning whether you deserve it. Nothing is being taken from you by letting go. Something is being returned. Stay present. Stay gentle. Stay open. We are moving deeper into release next, into how this freedom settles into your daily thoughts, your relationships, your rest, your future. The journey is continuing, and you are doing it well. Take another slow breath. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. My child, keep staying here with me. There is no rush. Nothing is chasing you. Nothing is demanding that you fix everything at once. Healing does not respond to pressure, it responds to safety. And right now, this space is meant to feel safe. You may notice something beginning to shift inside you. Not dramatically, not like a sudden wave, but more like a slow loosening. The kind you only realize later, when you notice you are breathing more freely than before. That is how release often begins. Quiet. Unannounced. Gentle. For so long, your mind learned to stay alert, always scanning for what might go wrong, what you might have missed, what you should have done differently. That constant alertness was your way of surviving. It helped you once. Honor that. But survival patterns are not meant to become permanent homes. You are allowed to step out of constant self-monitoring. There is a deep truth I want you to hold carefully now. You do not become careless by letting go of guilt. You become clear. Clarity allows you to respond wisely instead of reacting from fear. Fear keeps you trapped in the past. Clarity keeps you rooted in the present. Notice how often your thoughts travel backward. They revisit moments that are already over, conversations that can no longer be changed, choices that cannot be undone. Each time you return there, your body reacts as if it is happening again. That is why the weight feels so real. But right now, in this moment, nothing is attacking you. Nothing is collapsing. You are here. You are breathing. You are listening. That alone tells you something important. You are safe enough to release. Let your awareness gently return to the present. Feel the surface beneath you. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Feel the quiet strength that has carried you through more than you ever give yourself credit for. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived here because some part of you is ready to live differently. Not perfectly. Differently. There may be a belief inside you that says, if I let go, I will lose control. But control is not the same as stability. True stability comes from trust. Trust in your ability to adapt. Trust in your ability to learn. Trust that you do not need to punish yourself to stay grounded. You have learned enough. You have paid enough. You have carried enough. From now on, when old guilt tries to speak, you will not argue with it or obey it. You will simply recognize it as a habit that has outlived its purpose. Habits fade when they are no longer fed. Choose a new response. A softer one. Speak to yourself in a calm voice. Remind yourself that growth is happening even when it feels slow. Remind yourself that you are allowed to rest without explanation. Remind yourself that peace is not laziness, it is alignment. There is also something else being released now, something subtle but important. The belief that you must always be strong. Strength does not mean never feeling tired. Strength means knowing when to lay burdens down. You do not need to prove anything anymore. As this release continues, you may notice emotions rising unexpectedly. Sadness. Relief. Even tears. Let them come. Emotion moving through you is not weakness, it is motion. Stagnant emotion weighs more than flowing emotion. Let it move. You are not losing parts of yourself. You are returning to yourself. There is a version of you underneath the guilt. A version that laughs more freely. A version that rests without fear. A version that trusts life again. That version has been waiting patiently, not demanding, not forcing, just waiting for you to feel safe enough to return. You are safe now. In the coming days, practice small moments of kindness toward yourself. When you make a mistake, pause before judgment. When you feel tired, honor it. When you feel joy, allow it without suspicion. These small choices matter. They rewire old patterns gently, without force. Nothing needs to be dramatic for it to be real. If tomorrow brings moments of heaviness, remember this: heaviness does not mean danger. It means something old is loosening its grip. You are not moving backward. You are shedding layers. And shedding can feel strange at first. Stay present. Stay gentle. We are nearing the deeper settling now, where this freedom becomes something you carry naturally, not something you have to think about. This is where peace stops being an idea and starts becoming your normal. Breathe again, slowly. You are doing exactly what you need to do. My child, remain here with me a little longer. What is happening now is subtle but important. This is the stage where peace stops feeling like something you visit for a moment and starts becoming a place you can live in. You may notice that your thoughts are slowing down. Or maybe they are still coming, but they feel less sharp, less demanding. That is progress. Healing does not mean thoughts disappear. It means they lose their power to control you. For a long time, your inner world felt crowded. Too many voices speaking at once. Some reminding you of past mistakes. Some warning you about the future. Some questioning your worth. Living like that is exhausting. Anyone would feel tired under that weight. It was never a personal failure. It was overload. Now, space is being created. And when space appears, something else can finally enter. Clarity. Clarity does not shout. It does not rush. It speaks quietly and confidently. It says, "This moment is enough." It says, "You are allowed to be here without fixing anything." It says, "You are not late. You are not behind." Let those words settle. There is an old habit inside you that may still try to measure your worth by productivity, by sacrifice, by how much you endure. That habit was shaped by survival, not truth. Survival teaches us to earn rest. Truth reminds us that rest is necessary to live. You do not need to justify your healing. As you move forward, you will begin to notice changes in how you respond to life. Situations that once triggered deep guilt may now pause you instead. You will feel the space between the trigger and your reaction. That space is freedom. In that space, you get to choose. Choice is powerful. You can choose to respond with patience instead of self-attack. You can choose to learn without shaming yourself. You can choose to walk away from emotional burdens that are not yours to carry. Not everything deserves your energy. There is also something important to understand about the future. The future is not waiting to punish you for letting go of the past. It is waiting to meet you as you are now. Lighter. Clearer. More present. You may have feared that releasing guilt would make you careless or disconnected. But notice what is actually happening. You are becoming more aware, not less. More grounded, not reckless. More compassionate, not indifferent. This is what real growth looks like. In relationships, you may begin to speak more honestly. Not harshly, but clearly. You may stop over-explaining. You may stop apologizing for things that are not wrong. This may feel unfamiliar at first. That is okay. New boundaries often feel uncomfortable before they feel natural. You are not changing into someone cold. You are changing into someone balanced. Your heart still cares deeply. It is just no longer drowning in responsibility that was never meant to be yours. There will be moments when the old patterns knock softly at the door. They may come disguised as concern, as overthinking, as worry about doing enough. When that happens, do not panic. Simply notice. Remind yourself that you have a choice now. Say quietly to yourself, I do not need to carry this. And let it pass. Peace is not something you hold tightly. It is something you allow to move through you. You are allowed to enjoy calm moments without waiting for something bad to follow. You are allowed to experience happiness without scanning for consequences. You are allowed to trust that good things can exist without being taken away. This trust will grow with practice. Right now, your only task is to remain kind to yourself. Kindness is not weakness. It is the environment where healing thrives. As this message continues, everything is aligning toward one truth. You were never meant to live weighed down by constant inner judgment. You were meant to live awake, aware, and free enough to experience life fully. You are doing that now. Stay with this feeling a moment longer. Let it anchor into you. This is not temporary relief. This is a shift. My child, this is where everything comes together. Not with noise. Not with pressure. But with quiet certainty. The kind that settles deep and stays. Take a moment and notice yourself right now. You are still here. Still breathing. Still open. That alone tells a powerful story. It tells me you were ready for this release. It tells me your heart knew it was time to stop carrying what was never meant to stay with you. This is the moment where you stop fighting yourself. From here on, life will continue as it always does. Days will come with responsibilities. Emotions will rise and fall. Challenges will still appear. But something inside you has changed. You are no longer walking into those moments weighed down by constant self-blame. You are walking in with awareness. Awareness changes everything. When mistakes happen in the future, and they will, because you are human, you will meet them differently. You will learn instead of punish. You will correct instead of condemn. You will move forward instead of staying trapped in regret. This is not denial. This is maturity. There is a calm strength growing in you now. Not the kind that pushes or proves, but the kind that knows when to pause. The kind that listens. The kind that trusts its own resilience. You have survived enough to know this truth: breaking yourself was never what made you better. Compassion did. Let that truth guide you. From this point forward, your inner voice will slowly soften. Not perfectly. Not overnight. But steadily. And when you catch yourself slipping into old patterns, you will not judge that either. You will simply return to this place. This breath. This awareness. You always have access to it. You no longer need to live under invisible pressure. You no longer need to rehearse the past to prove you care. You no longer need to hold guilt as proof of goodness. Your goodness is already evident in your effort, your heart, your willingness to grow. Nothing more is required. As you move into your days, carry this gently: you are allowed to be at peace. You are allowed to move forward. You are allowed to live without carrying old weights. Let rest be rest. Let joy be joy. Let learning be learning. And when quiet moments come, moments where you simply exist without fixing, without planning, without judging, let yourself stay there. Those moments are not empty. They are healing. This is not the end of something. It is the beginning of a lighter way of living. Go now with ease in your steps and calm in your heart. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are unfolding. And that is enough. My dear soul, before you go, receive this blessing with an open heart. May peace stay with you longer than fear ever did. May clarity guide your steps. May rest find you without guilt. And may your heart continue to feel lighter with each passing day. If this message brought calm to your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video as a quiet yes to peace. Share it with someone who may be carrying silent weight. Leave a comment, even a single word, to anchor this release in your life. And subscribe, so you stay connected to messages meant to guide, not pressure you. Your presence here matters more than you know. And if you feel led, super thanks of $30 is deeply appreciated and helps keep these messages reaching hearts that need them. No obligation, only gratitude. Go gently. You are supported. You are not alone. Blessings always.